Hey, it's Rick from Metagamers, and before you go out and pick up a case for your iPhone 4S, you need to ensure a proper fit. The way you're going to do that is to look for a case that's labeled it is designed for the iPhone 4S. Seems simple enough, but because the 4S is new, not all cases are going to say that. So if they don't, you need to look for a label that says it's designed for the Verizon iPhone, for universal access, or for all models. If the label states it's for the AT&T iPhone or AT&T models, chances are it's not going to fit the way it's supposed to. And the reason for that is the 4S is designed with all the measurements and dimensions of the Verizon iPhone. So there's some minor tweaks there that if you throw an AT&T model case on your phone, it's probably not going to fit the right way. Here's an example of that. This is a spec candy shell, and in the corner here, as you can see, it says it is designed for the iPhone 4 and it fits all models. So be on the lookout for something like that or something similar. The next question that I get is, what case should I buy? What's the best? That really depends on what you're looking for. And so with this video today, I'm going to break down some top-level categories. It's not going to be fully exhaustive and inclusive here, but I'm going to break down some top-level categories and give you some suggestions from what I think you should consider, and then you can be the ultimate judge of what fits your need the best. So let's go ahead and have a look. So as I mentioned at the top of the video, when you're picking up a case for your iPhone 4S, there's some things that I would consider. First off, size, bulk, and weight. A lot of these cases that you might be looking at could double, possibly even triple the size of your iPhone 4S. And because the 4S is pretty small and pretty lightweight, you really need to ask yourself, why would I be doing that? Is it for protection? Is it for other reasons? So consider the size, the bulk, and the weight that the case adds. The next thing would be the material that the case is made out of. A lot of cases are made out of TPU, which is a thermoplastic. Others are made out of silicone. Others are made out of other types of plastic. Some might be leather, and there might be other materials as well. There are pros and cons to all of these types of materials. Things you want to consider with that is grippiness that it gives you. Some might be slippery, some might not. Longevity of the shape, so TPU tends to hold its shape a little bit better over time than some other materials. And then lint collection. Some of these cases that maybe are made out of silicone tend to attract more lint than others. And then finally, the ease of sliding it in and out of a pocket. That's another thing to think about that is impacted by the type of material that the case is made out of. Finally, the last thing I would consider is the camera cutout. If you intend on using your iPhone 4S's camera with the flash, you need to make sure that the case that you get has a wide enough camera opening. Some of the cases that we saw for the iPhone 4 did not, and it resulted in that flash bleeding over into the lens and causing a highly washed out or whited out picture. And so consider the camera opening. Now, of course, I've got a lot of iPhone 4 videos on my channel here, so you can always look at that for more details on these different things that I'm talking about here today. And as always, feel free to ask me questions. Now, let's talk about cases themselves and my recommendations. First off, screen protectors. If you are looking for a good screen protector, I tend to like the Ultra Clears, and this is the Steinhell. It's the Ultra Series Ultra Crystal Clear Screen Protector. I used screen protectors on my 3GS. I stopped using them on the 4, but I did test these out, and I would say that the Steinhell, as well as the Power Support Ultra Crystal Clear, are definitely good high quality screen protectors. You can't really tell that they're on. You of course can get anti-glare screen protectors. You can get ones that prevent fingerprints, things like that. But what I found with those is they tend to distort your screen just a little bit. So over time you might get used to that, but it's something to consider. Minimalistic approach to cases. You can of course go with a bumper if you so desire, but for me I like to have the back protected in some way, and so what I've chosen to do is go with the SGP case. This is the Neo Hybrid 2, and it will be available very soon here on SGP store for the 4S, so consider this one, and I've got a video review of this case on my channel that you can see. If you don't like this back, You can always get the Neo Hybrid 2 EX series. It's basically the same thing, but it doesn't have a back to it. If you're looking for a average size case, one that really doesn't add a whole heck of a lot of bulk, but it's not so minimal as, let's say, the Neo Hybrid brand cases, I'm going to recommend the Spec Pixel Skin HD. It was one of my top picks on the iPhone 4 for a very long time, and it should also be right up there for the 4S. And they have revised the camera cutout on that, so it is very wide, very similar to what you see here on the candy shell. And those can be picked up at Apple Store, various stores around your area, and also online. So the Pixel Skin HD is definitely a good case to consider. If you're looking for something that adds a little bit more protection than, let's say, a moderate level case such as or an average size case such as the Spec Pixel Skin HD, I would recommend looking at the Spec Candy Shell. And this is an excellent case. I've actually purchased the revised edition with the larger camera cutout here for my 4S when it arrives. This is a wonderful case. It adds a little bit of bulk, not too much, a little bit of weight, not too much. The big thing with this case is that if you intend to use it with, let's say, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a Sony dock that sets my alarm, plays my music, all that. This doesn't fit into that dock on its own. I have to use a SendStation dock extender to make this fit because it's a little thick down in the dock area. If you can get over that, this is an outstanding case, provides a wonderful level of protection. And then finally, if you're looking for a heavy-duty case, I don't have one to show you here, but OtterBox is definitely the way to go. Those are very heavy-duty, durable cases. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere where cases are sold. I know that OtterBox has a listing for the 4S model that will be coming in mid-October, so depending on when you're watching it, the 4S model might not be out yet, but it is coming very soon, and you'll want to take a look at that. So this video, as I say, is kind of just a quick overview to give you some thoughts about what you might want to look for a case for your 4S, some of the key things that I would consider. It's not an exhaustive video by any stretch of the imagination. I'll have more case reviews coming very soon here as the 4S launches, and you'll want to look at my channel for that. Otherwise, if you guys have questions, comments, feedback, as always, please feel free to leave them below. I'll do my best to respond as soon as I can. Otherwise, take care, everybody, and have fun.